Alright, so I'm just going to do a really quick video talking about my thoughts of Cobra Kai Season 2. I'll keep it spoiler free. I don't want to get too much into all the story elements and whatnot. I know the thing literally just dropped today. I finished it today. My brother Nathan is the biggest fucking Karate Kid fan on the planet, and he has gotten me very excited about the show, and I watched it after he did the first season. And then, not far though, I want to say I watched it pretty close after it came out. He watched it like the second of, I think he watched the first season like 4 or 5 times or something insane. And he's just been talking about this season for so long. It was so exciting for it to finally get here, because I really did love the first season, shockingly, because I find the first Karate Kid to be fine. It's fun, you know, it's nostalgic, it's a fine movie. It's his favorite movie of all time. Definitely not mine, but I like it. It's okay. Part 2 and 3 to me are pretty much not good. they're not very good. I know that break my brother's heart. He watched 2 recently and said he wasn't a huge fan of it, and 3 he still really loves, and that's fine. But I went into this kind of a tad nervous, just because they really knocked season 1 out of the park. I was shocked. And I think a lot of people were. I saw a lot of reviews of season 1. And people were just like, oh, this is going to be a joke. You know, it's a YouTube show, YouTube Red exclusive. Like, how good is this going to be? It's a reboot. Well, not even a reboot. Well, yeah, I guess technically. Like a revival, there you go. A revival of an old 80s franchise. That what could they really do with this story and this and that, and the way they approached that first season. I am going to talk spoilers a little bit about season 1 though. The way they approached that season, with Johnny kind of being now the underdog, Johnny being the one who has fallen on hard times, and Danny being this guy who's succeeded in life, and kind of seeing that rivalry that's still kind of there. Like when they meet up again, like Daniel tries to take the high road with it, but Johnny still holds a lot of resentment, man. He's that guy who peaked in high school, and you know, he wants to reclaim his glory days, but they don't make him a jerk. And I think that fits the character, because at the end of the first Karate Kid, he does give Danny that trophy. He tries to be the better man in that moment, so there is a good guy in there. So the way they approached that season, making Johnny the main protagonist of the show versus going the other obvious route and making Daniel the main centered, focused character. Now, it's not that he's not in it a ton. He definitely is, but this is Johnny's story. Like Cobra Kai, I mean, it's called Cobra Kai for a reason. It's Johnny's story, and I think that was such a smart way to do it. And so when season 1 was as successful as it was, if you look online, I mean, the show is like a 8.9 or something. It's an insanely rated show, or even higher. It gets loved by the people who do watch it, because I don't think I've ever heard a person say a bad word about it. I don't know how many people were watching. And one of the reasons I wanted to make this video was because I know my channel isn't like blowing up. It's not some enormous channel, of course, so it's not going to reach a lot of people, but I just revisited and watched all of Ash vs. Evil Dead, which is a fantastic show, and it got canceled after 3 seasons when it was, you know, kind of at the height of its awesomeness. And that's a shame, because even though it doesn't matter how great a show is, either people are watching it or they're not, and a studio will cancel it. And I mean, the way that this season leaves off, if they don't make a 3rd season, that would be fucking criminal. Because the 2nd season for me was pretty much just as awesome as the first. I was very surprised that they were able to pull it off again the way that they did. I was very nervous going into this season that it was going to be a one-hit wonder, that they were going to try too hard in this. I was wondering where they were going to go, because, you know, Kreese comes back at the end, and I'm like, oh, how's that all going to play out? And, you know, is this rivalry going to be able to sustain itself for another season? They get very smart with how they play things off. It gets uber dramatic. It very much does. It almost feels like a soap opera at times. Better to be, much better, honestly. But all of it really does work. And all the old characters, the ones from the first season, Diaz and Robbie and Samantha, and of course Johnny and them, their storylines, where they all go, it makes sense. And they add very realistic, unrealistic, but realistic drama between them. And then you got the new characters, most notably, of course, being Kreese, but then another character named Tori. And the way they play in, and the way that they kind of bounce off of everybody, and the drama that's created from that, I was really engaged with. There wasn't really any episode, or there really wasn't any filler. I never felt bored. And there's a lot of good cameos in this season from characters that you wouldn't expect to see. And there's even hints at, possible returning characters for the future. And that's why I'm saying it would be such a shame if this show does get canceled, because then that would never happen. So I really do hope that people will check this show out if they haven't yet. Yes, I know YouTube Red is another thing. It's another fucking, you have a Netflix and you have a Prime and you have a this and you have that. I'm not here to try to get you to get YouTube Red. Fucking sign up for a 7-day free trial. Watch all 2 seasons in a row. They're short, 30 minutes each, 10 episodes. It's quick. I watched the whole damn thing today. So you can get through it really quick. It is a great show. It really is. If you have any nostalgia towards the Karate Kid, and you would like to see what happened to these characters later in their life. And they don't just acknowledge Karate Kid 1. They really do acknowledge 1, 2, and 3. All the stories of them do get brought up, clips. And the way they incorporate the clips into the show is really, it's really smart. I like the way that they do that. It never feels forced. It never feels like, oh, remember this scene? Like, it feels organic how they weave it into the story. And so when they need the emotional punch of the nostalgia, they insert it in very seamlessly. And they did that in the first season, and they also did it in this season with footage that I would not have expected to see again, and storylines from sequels that I wasn't expecting to see again. Like little props or whatever from part 2, and then scenes from part 3. And I was really surprised to see that kind of stuff. So they really are kind of harkening back to the entire franchise, minus the next Karate Kid, which I don't think that will ever come up, but I wouldn't be surprised to see something from that, since Miyagi was in that. But man, I really did have a blast with this. As I said, I really liked the Tori character. I really liked how Kreese played into this, and all the drama that's in it. So yeah, if you get a chance, you're a fan, check it out. If you already saw it, let's talk about it. I'm down to talk about this. I just don't want to get into spoilers here because it just came out today, and I know that you guys don't watch shit as fast as me a lot of the times. But I just had to knock it out because my brother was knocking it out. We're very competitive. We were so competitive that I was actually wanting to almost fast forward episodes so that I could be ahead of him. I was very annoyed that we were just behind. We were texting each other, and he was, he's always like fucking 10 minutes ahead of me or 15. I was like, yeah, even though this is his shit. That's how funny how that works out, because this is his show, and I'm kind of just there to watch it because I think it's a fun show, and he's there to watch it because it's his life. And when this show ended, he texted me stuff like, he made me literally cry. I was laughing so hard about stuff like, I wish I could read it, but I'm unfortunately filming with the phone he sent it to me on. But he was like, oh, of course that's the fucking way they would end it. Guess I'll fucking kill myself. Talk to you never. And I was like, what if they don't bring it back for a 3rd season? And he was like, well, you can forget about my save the date because the groom will be dead. I was dying, man. So funny. But anyway, so I had a great time. I love you, Nathan. If you're watching this, check this show out. It's fucking badass. And don't be a pussy. Adios.